Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you for tuning in to my first uh, YouTube, first podcast and I actually wanted to cover the NFL playoffs, the upcoming Wildcard Weekend. So, my name is Amir Estimo, and I enjoy sports. I love sports. I love football. I love basketball. Probably my favorite is basketball. I played a little bit of basketball in high school, but that's probably about as much as I did. And then I played football, got hit one time, and that was it for me. So no more. So today's episode, we're gonna talk about the NFL playoffs. I'll make some picks, and then we'll go from there. First, the first game will be the Chargers and the Texans. I'm gonna pick the Chargers to win this game. The Texans O line is terrible, and the fact that they lost Tank Dell and Stephon Diggs, it actually makes it easier now to cover Nico. Derwin James has been playing really well, and the way the Chargers have been using him, they're using him to blitz the quarterback and also in coverage too. So I expect this game not to be really a high scoring game. I think it's going to be somewhere between 21-17 Chargers, 21-13, somewhere around there. But if I was to pick the final score, I would say the Chargers will win 21-13. The next game for the next game will be the let's see, we got the Pittsburgh and Baltimore. That game is interesting because Baltimore just lost. They just lost Zay Flowers due to the injury, and the Pittsburgh Steelers offense has been not been really good. And obviously, we saw last week with in Cincinnati game, George Pickens put on a dub. I think he got targeted like 5 times, and he had like 4 or 5 drops, something to that nature. Him and I can't say it's a him and Russ thing. I think it's more so it's George Pickens. George Pickens has not played well since he's came back. And in fact, that what kills me about these receivers today is that they are asking for the ball, they're demanding the ball, and when they get the ball, they struggle, and or they drop the ball. So I'm gonna go in this game. I will still pick the Ravens to win this game, but it's actually will be closer. This game is going to be coming down to a missed field goal by the Pittsburgh Steelers kicker to ice the game for the Ravens. I'm going to pick the Ravens to win 20-17. And the next one, we have Denver at Buffalo. This is my upset pick. I'm going to pick the Broncos to beat the Bills. I think Buffalo not having that elite receiver will finally catch up to them. You can get away with it in the regular season, but in the playoffs you can't. Now people will say, "Well, Amari is an elite receiver." Amari hasn't been elite in a while, so let's not even like if we're thinking elite, we're thinking Jefferson, Jetta. We're taking Jamar Chase. We're thinking even now Brian Thomas Jr., Malik Neighbors. Those guys have came, even though they're rookies, they have came into that echelon of elite. It's still young, but if I was to really just pick, I would say Jetta, Tyreek, I would say Jamar. Those are elite receivers. Amari Cooper's not in that league. He hasn't been elite in a very long time. But I think this is the game, and I think with the fact that what the Broncos can do now is they can actually, because it's the fact that maybe the best receiver the Bills have aside, you can probably say Amari, but is Shakur. But I think what they're gonna do, the Broncos, is they're gonna take Patrick Surtain the second and put him on Shakur. And I think the Broncos defense is solid enough. They led the league this year in sacks, set a franchise record in sacks. They can get after Josh. They have the defensive line to get at Josh. And I think if this game stays close, this is not what the Bills want. The Bills want to be able to come and blow them out. I don't think they're going to blow them out. I'm picking the Broncos to upset the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. And again, all this talk of Josh Allen being the MVP, but come playoff time, different story. I'm going to pick the Broncos to win this game and to go to Kansas City. The next game is Green Bay at Philly. Well, we already know Green Bay lost their best. Probably they Some say he's the best receiver. Christian Watson to a knee injury, torn ACL. He will not be playing in this game. I think Philly will win. And I think this is the one game that's not even going to be close. I think Philly's going to dominate from both sides. I think Jalen Hurts coming back. You may see some rust, but I think Philly's going to dominate 30 to like 14 or something. So I got Philly in this game. Second game, this is an interesting game. They met earlier in the year. Tampa beat Washington, but that was when Jaden Daniels was still trying to figure things out. But I'm going to go out and limb. I'm going to go out and say, I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will beat them again. But this one will be closer. I can see this game be a 27-24 type of deal. So I'm picking the Bucs to beat the Commanders. And then the last game, the Vikings and the Rams. This game will be in Arizona due to the fact that all the LA fires has been going on. LA, our prayers are with you. We're sorry for all that's lost, and hopefully, with all this going on, you can find some solace. But I know as of right now, people are devastated. Some lost their lives, but our prayers are with you in LA. But in this game being a neutral field, which doesn't really matter because SoFi Stadium, most of the time the visitors, I would probably say all the time, the visitors take over all the visitors outweigh the Rams anyways. But this game here, I'm going to go out and pick the Rams to win this game. I think the Rams have the talent on the offensive side to match up with the Vikings defense. And I think the fact that the only problem with the Rams is they need Cooper Kupp to be, I think they cannot win this game if Cooper Kupp doesn't have a solid game. And I'm talking 7 catches, 90 yards, touchdown. He needs to play well. Kyren Williams, obviously, if Kyren, Puka, they're gonna be the focal point. But I think Cooper Kupp needs to be that second option to really help kind of give that explosive. Because if the Vikings can just clamp down on Puka and then obviously play that D line to shut down the run, they'll have success. But I think the Vikings, I think the thing with the Rams are going to look at is what did the Lions did to them. The Lions defense is actually, with all the injuries that they've had, they're not that good. And the fact that they were able to shut down the Vikings offense, the Rams have had a week to look at that. And then the fact that this game being on Monday is going to even be even a bigger thing. So I'm going to pick the Rams to win. So with my picks, let's start again. I got the Chargers. So if the Chargers win and the Broncos win, that means the Broncos will go to KC, and then the Chargers will go to Baltimore because I don't think the Bills are going to win. So the divisional round, I got Broncos against the Chiefs, and I got the Chargers to go to the Ravens. And now in the NFC, I got the Rams to win, and I got the Eagles to win. So I got the Bucs and the Bucs to win. So I got the Bucs to go to Philly, and I got the Rams to go to Detroit. Okay? All right, thanks, and have a good one.